Inner conversations is a topic I've previously covered on my channel. This is a very beautiful aspect of manifestation. Neville Goddard has discussed it in his lecture, and it holds a significant value in our lives. We are all having inner conversations in our minds from day to night. Sometimes we seem to be cursing someone in our minds, and the next moment we are fantasizing about them. Sometimes we abuse them in our inner dialogues, and sometimes we love them. As a result of these tiny speech movements, we are manifesting all of them in our reality. So, in this video, I'll explain why you should stop cursing them in your head and give you solutions to turn these conversations into something pleasant. Neville explains to us that everyone in the universe possesses the same ability. We all have the potential to shape the world into what we want it to be. However, as Neville points out, this does not imply that we all use it wisely. We may continue to have inner talks with individuals we despise or about things we dislike, and we may allow these dialogues to run wild rather than make them as pleasant as we would like them to be. We all have this ability, and the knowledge of how to use it to realize our dreams. To completely persuade ourselves that we are already in our desired reality, we must see it. But occasionally we trip up and let ideas that do not correspond to the wish fulfilled play on our minds. We end up cursing others because of what we encounter in our three-dimensional reality. When we see something contradictory in our reality, we begin to argue with it in our minds. This act of cursing and mental arguments gets impressed on the subconscious mind, and with the immense feelings of hate and anger, it leaves a lasting impression. As Neville mentioned, it's the inner speech that is frozen in the world around us. This vast universe is nothing more than frozen inner speech. Read the above line again and again. I know we all want to prove ourselves right in our inner speeches, and after the 3D arguments, we restart them in our heads with an image of that person. We try to prove our point, and often we get too involved in it. We all start pointing out the facts and figures in our minds to make our point stronger, but we often forget that humans' decisions are based upon emotions. Numbers are good for computers, but the majority of our decisions are linked to how we feel. These inner speeches of hate get frozen and manifest in our inner world. We start seeing evidence of it in our reality, and it starts becoming a fact. Since our reality is a frozen inner dialogue, we have an advantage as well as a disadvantage. The advantage is that we can use it in our favor to manifest anything we desire. The disadvantage is that, when we have no self-control or self-discipline, we often leave our inner conversations to run wild, complaining and cursing everything in our mind we encounter. We leave it like a wild horse, going in different directions at the same time. As a result, our stress levels spike, and we start seeing everything with a negative perception. Start being honest with yourself. Choose a person in your mind with whom your relationship is not smooth. It is hot and cold. Now examine recently how many times have you argued with them in your mind. How many times have you cursed them? When your relationship started, it was not at all like this. You shared some really wonderful times that brought you closer. Every relationship you've ever had began because it felt good and right. Some of you maybe started feeling insecure about yourself or your partner, which led you to assume the worst-case scenario. And when you started indulging in it on a regular basis, it started becoming true in your reality. Hence, it manifested right before your eyes. But you don't have to worry now, because if you do not like something that is in your outer reality, you just have to change it inwardly. You are powerful enough to bring that change, and it starts within. All you have to do is persist in the new inner conversations that are born out of your desire. You have to fully convince yourself of the idea of having it, absorbing it, like a sponge absorbs liquid. When this happens, your inner dialogue has no choice but to manifest in your physical experience. I know it is easier said than done. That is why I am presenting to you some ways that can help you shift your inner conversations with ease. These ways are really simple and easy. If you like following a process, I am laying one down that you can follow. Also, I would like to inform you that there is no single process to manifest. You can do whatever you feel is right. Not every video is for you. You can watch it and accept or reject it based on your preferences. To begin with, during your day, whenever you experience or become aware of your inner conversations, start with the following steps. First, start to notice it with kindness. Do not start blaming yourself for having it. Do not start feeling bad about it, but rather acknowledge and remind yourself that this conversation is based upon an old idea that is false now, and that it does not belong to you. Second, ask yourself, if I am already the person I wanted to be right now, what conversation would be in alignment with this situation? To simplify it, let me give you two scenarios. Scenario 1 is when a person is having a rocky relationship with their partner, and when they call their partner, they didn't pick up the call. In this scenario, the person began to feel uneasy and began to imagine all the worst-case scenarios, such as whether that person is with someone else or if they are ignoring them, and their inner conversations are based on insecurity. This is your old conversation. Scenario 2 is when a person is having a fulfilling relationship with their partner. They are happy and in love with each other. This is what a second person would think in the same situation. Probably, they would address this situation with, "Oh, I think they are occupied with something else. They will tell me all about it once they get free. In the meantime, let me complete all the tasks I have to do." This is your new conversation. So, in the same situation, the two people addressed the same thing in a different manner and thus felt differently. So in step 2, you would ask yourself, if I am already the person I wanted to be right now, what conversation would be in alignment with this situation? You will get the idea, and you will get the answer. In the third step, when you get the idea that your conversations will be different, let yourself go and start talking to yourself from this new point of view, this new perspective. Make yourself free and let it all out, as lovely as that would be. Perhaps he or she is busy planning a dinner for me. Maybe there would be a surprise, or maybe they would knock on my doorstep with a bottle of wine, and it would be a night to remember. See how this shifts your energy. Only this shift is necessary. This happens every time you choose to think differently. You get motivated and get into a high vibe. You have to do it multiple times when you experience such a scenario. Your life will definitely start shifting. It will take some time in the beginning, but it will become easier. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you liked this video and want more such videos. I will meet you with another golden nugget. Happy manifesting.